What day is it today? What day is it today? It's finally the day that Stevie and Cookie are coming here. I cannot wait to meet them. I miss them so much. They're like 1 hour away and I'm going to the airport right now to pick them up because I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Oh, I'm so excited. Come with me to the airport.
Жди-то соло. Ждите.
Кукита, зимое имя. Look who's here. Look who's here.
Ja, haydi. Haydi.
Lucia. Lucia имя. Zoga имя. And look who's here. And look what I brought. Look what I brought. I brought Timbits.
I'm going.
Yeah. Timbits. Kukita. Maria. Bravo. Bravo. Bravo, Zimmer. So we started with Timbits, and the second step, the Canadian hat. Welcome to Toronto! Welcome to Toronto!
1 hour later.
Zimmer, Luta.
Olja to är
To ja. Hajde Spirit! Hajde Zimmer, du kommer med nu sen. Hajde Zimmer! Vad Spirit! Det kan du!
Haydi
Det
Zimmer.
kan du, det är Spirit i mamma i stil. Zimmer. Som har fast en liten kravat. Luta! Zimmer!
Bravo, špijsno.
Sei muito moj.
Emi.
Sei muito moj. Mas kamar mali, fare për mamin moj. Hiç fare ish kamar mali moj. Më shpirt, më zemër, ose i bukur je bërë ti. Ose i mil je bërë ti. Jo, ej, mafjus.
Zimmer. Bravo.
Hajde, mi zemër, hajde. Më shpirt. Hi guys, this is Edwina from the future talking to you right now. I'm so glad that you saw this part of the video. And for now I wanted to tell you a little bit more about our story and how we brought Cookie in Canada, what things we read about, what documents we provided, and how we managed to get this little beautiful dog that I have in here to bring him to Canada. So, as you know, flying with pets is actually a challenge, and having to fly internationally and also across the ocean is again a much bigger challenge. So, of course, it had a lot of problems and issues with it. So, first of all, we went to choose the airline that was going to take Cookie, and it was really hard because most of the airlines do not accept brachycephalic dogs. I don't know the term exactly, but I've read it online, so like it's something that you should consider researching about. And Chow Chows are part of that brand. I'm gonna try to find the name. Hold on. It's this one. Like, I don't know if you can see, brachycephalic dog breed. And the airline that we found was Air Transat because they were the only ones who would accept transporting these types of pets. As you know, you cannot keep a dog in the cabin. It has to be transported through cargo. So this was a problem. It was a really bigger problem because the flight was going to be 11 hours. And also another problem was that from Tirana, Albania, there was no direct flights or even flights that would be carried by Air Transat to come to Canada. So that was a major problem. So what we did was we drove Cookie to Athens by car, which meant that he had to go and abide the laws of the European Union, which are completely different from the ones of Canada, depending like the documents and everything. So that's what they did. Stevie drove Cookie to Athens. They crossed the border from Albania to Greece, and that's where they learned about some information. So they had to take a vaccination report, and like it's like a health report, not only a vaccination report, from the state veterinary hospital. Like the state has like a separate institution that deals with this types of information. So that was the first thing that they had to take, and that was needed. And also they kept it on the border when they crossed it. And of course, when we bought the airline ticket, then was a lot of other documents. Like we had to sign some waivers saying that if something happens to the dog, they don't hold any like responsibility for that. They don't even care about that, which is like traumatic in its own, but we didn't have any other choice, so it was the only choice. We bought a big like crate for him, which had to be within parameters and everything. It had to be spacious enough for the dog to turn around, to like lay flat, to sleep during the flight hours. We already had the crate. We started training him with the crate for like many years ago because we knew that this moment was going to come, and that he had to make this long flight and had to be in the crate. And also he has to behave when he gets to the border or in the airplane. If the dog is like stressed in the crate, they might refuse to put him in the plane. They might say, this dog is not trained, we're gonna take him. So it was a really major problem. Like anything that any unexpected that might happen in the flight would be really strange and like scary. So these were the two challenges. The first one was going to Greece through the European Union border, which had its own rules. And then after taking him to Athens, we boarded the plane with Cookie together. They required for some vaccination documentations him to be microchipped. There are like several things that you need to consider. It depends on the country where you're going and also the flight company that you're taking with, a travel company. So it's really important to read before, and also to have all the documents and all the papers signed beforehand, and be prepared for like any unexpected things that might happen, especially in the airport or during the traveling. One of the problems was that in the crate, inside the crate where Cookie was going to stay, they did not allow any food, which is really weird because it was 11 hours and it was a crazy long amount of time for him not to have any treats or anything. But it's the law, so we abided that, of course. And the other problem was that they did not require, like, you were not allowed to have a normal water container for him, like the normal one that he drinks, because it would spill and it would make a mess and everything. So they required a very specific one. And besides the one that the crate had, which is like this size and it's like stuck to the cage of the crate, we also bought this one, which I highly recommend if you're traveling with a dog in our situation. And this one also has this thing, it's like they can lick out of this thing and they can hydrate themselves, obviously, during the flight. But the most important part was that in the airport they would not allow liquid in this, because this should not be leaking. But sometimes it might leak because it depends on this little circle right here, so like it's normal. So what we did was that we filled it with ice, and in the airport this one was with ice, and he had a small dog bowl with water to drink during that time. And when he was boarding the plane, the ice would slowly like melt, so it would provide more water for him to lick and to hydrate himself. And then when they came here in Canada, they requested all for these documents to be like to see everything it was right, or they also they had to pay like a fee. By what I remember, the total process with his airline ticket and everything was like around $300. I'm not very, because it's been almost a year, but around $300. So be aware of that too, and any weird fees that might come up, because different countries have different taxes or different things that you might want to know. So please do your research before. But just so you know, it's possible. It's hard, it's crazy, it's stressful, so stressful, but just keep in mind that it's doable, and as long as you take the courage, you do the research, you read everything, and it's really important, especially with the documents first, with the crate size, with if the food or drinks, if it's allowed. I'm sure the food is not, but like the liquid thing, the water is allowed or not. And you need to make sure that the dog is vaccinated and has all vaccines in the right dates and everything. And also you need to make sure specifically the rabies vaccine is the most important one, and you had to make sure that it was made within a specific time frame. And for us, Cookie made it like 2 months before boarding the plane, so it was fine for him. We also made like an analysis of like a blood analysis, I don't know, blood test, yes. We also made a blood test for Cookie to see if he was rabies free, or if he had any other issue or any problems with his blood. And we had to carry it with us throughout the whole trip, just to make sure that if anyone requested it, we can just show it and it was normal, everything inside. The problem is that the blood test was not doable in Albania, so we had to do it in Vienna, in Austria. So like they took his blood in Albania and then they sent it somewhere, which was kind of expensive, but we had to do it anyway. Just so you know, this is not mandatory, but it's really, really good to have it. And especially when you cross borders by driving or also on airplanes, it's really, really good to have it. Like, for us, they did not really request it, but when we showed that we had that, it just proves that your dog is not sick and really healthy in every aspect, especially for rabies, which they're mostly scared of, obviously. That was really a good document to have. So I would recommend that you get that before, because it takes around 3 months for you to get the results of that specific blood test, and do your research about that too. So if I would give a tip for traveling, that would be careful of the vaccines, the size of the crate, the water container, obviously, the microchip, which is mandatory for some countries for the dogs to have, and the other thing was the blood test that I said. It's not mandatory, but it's really good to have. So I don't think I've forgotten anything by what I'm thinking, because it's been, as I said, it's been a year, so it's been a long time. Also, don't forget to do the research for the airline requirements, because any different airlines might have different requirements. And for example, our airline also had the waiver that we needed to sign to say that if the dog has kind of breathing problems after flying, they do not take responsibility of that. So it was completely our decision to sign it and to say, yes, take the dog, no matter what happens to him, we're gonna risk it. So it's also important to do research about the airline requirements as well, which was really important too. So yeah, this is it, and I really hope you enjoyed this video, this vlog, all the emotions on the first part and all the tips and tricks on this part, the second one. I really hope that, especially from Albania, because I've heard stories and seen people who abandon their dogs because they're going away, or like they don't even take the risk of taking their dog with them in a different country when they're moving abroad or when they're going for some years to living abroad. Please don't abandon them. There's always a possibility, there's always a chance, and if you do your research, it's gonna be possible. It's not easy though, but it's possible. So never leave them. They're family, they're part of our family, of course. So just so you know, dogs make our lives better, so we would never abandon them. That's a really good message that I wanted to convey specifically to Albanian families, because there's a rising number of issues going on, especially towards dogs. For anyone else, if you have any other questions or any more specific, you can leave it in the comments and I will make sure to read and respond. And if there's any more information that you might need, you can always contact me. And also don't forget to follow me on Instagram, because I share there a lot of things with my life journey in Canada. Not everything could be a vlog, but you can see everything there. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, anything that you might want, and also share this video with somebody who might help. You never know who you might help. Somebody who's traveling with a dog, you might also help them. So thank you, bye!